So let's talk about one of the topics that I'll be covering on May 17th at the 30-day Summer Slim Down Jumpstart seminar. This is something that I'm definitely going to write about, write a book on, or expand further on, as it's been working really well in consultations and all the nutrition consultations I've been having recently. And I call it the dial and lever method, right? I might call it the dial and lever diet, but I really think it's hitting home. I think it's cutting through some of the confusion that a lot of clients and people that are coming into Primal Fit are still dealing with. These are people that have this all or nothing mindset. They continue to think they need to be on an extreme diet. They continue to think they have to be working out in an extreme way. And that just hasn't worked ever. And it's not going to work now or going into the future. I feel like the time has come where we have to start educating further away from the diet mentality and the over-exercising mentality. These people think they continue to do what they think will work, when there's a better way, right? And I think I have a better way of explaining how to lose weight sustainably, while still eating like an adult, and getting the results you're looking for without feeling like you're on a diet. So let's dive in. The dial and lever method is this. We have many levers that we can pull in health and fitness, right? We have an exercise lever, we have a cardio lever, we have a nutrition lever, we have a recovery lever, we have a lot of different levers that we can pull when I'm in a consultation. So one of the biggest ones is going to be the nutrition lever, right? So if I pull that lever, which most people need to pull it to get the best result possible, underneath that lever, we're going to have a lot of different dials, right? We're going to have a protein dial, a fat dial, a carbohydrate dial. We're going to have a snacking dial. We're going to have an alcohol dial. We're going to have an eating out dial. These are all dials that are very obvious, and then there's some that aren't so obvious. But let's go into the dials a little bit, right? Most people are going to go on a crazy diet, where I feel like the best thing to do here is to look at the person's diet from a food diary. I'm going to gather information, put my Sherlock Holmes hat on, investigate what this person is currently doing. So without, throwing everything out at them, most of the time I'm going to see that the person is low in protein, almost always. So I'm going to dial up the protein. And then I'm going to see this person is snacking too much. Now the increasing protein is going to help with snacking, but we're just going to go ahead and lower the snacking dial. It will happen automatically just because we're increasing protein. A lot of times we can increase the fiber dial, and that can happen by just increasing vegetable content. That will help with snacking as well. As we're knocking out multiple birds with one stone by increasing protein and increasing fiber. That will automatically decrease the snacking dial. We can also lower the fat dial, right? Or we can lower the carbohydrate dial, or we can increase the carbohydrate dial, decreasing the fat dial. All these things are choices and are options that we can do in order to help somebody get into a calorie deficit. The goal is to get into a calorie deficit while maintaining or increasing satiety. We don't want people hungry all the time. So the easiest things to do are to increase the protein dial, increase the vegetable dial, which will in turn decrease the snacking dial. So as you can see, we're not like totally tossing everything out the window or making too many changes all at once. We're not even going on any one particular diet. We're just simply looking at what they're already doing and dialing some things up and dialing some things down. We can do the same thing, obviously, looking at alcohol. That's another dial, right? How many beers are you drinking per week? How many glasses of wine are you drinking per week? So if somebody's drinking 10 glasses of wine per week, we dial it down to 5. Would I like none? Yes. But most people aren't going to go for that one. So why not just dial it down some? Find out where they're at and then dial it down. It's going to get them in a calorie deficit. That's the whole goal. Same thing with eating out. Are you eating out 7 days per week, 7 meals per week? Can we dial that down to 3? Is that going to help them get in a calorie deficit? Yes. So this is just another way to get people in a calorie deficit without having them feel too deprived. They have to work with us somehow, right? Like the goal is sustainability here. So that's why I've been taking this route lately, especially with people that aren't really liking the gym, right? This is new to them. This is something that is not so fun. So by working with them in this manner, by psychologically working with people versus demanding too much change all at one time, I'm getting better results. Once they start to buy in and see that their body's changing, they'll want more. They will dial down more or dial up more because they're seeing what we're doing is working. So this is just a less extreme way of getting what I want, right? I'm getting to the end goal. I'm getting them what they want. I'm getting what I want, but we're working together. So it's just an easier way. Can we fast? Yes. Can we go low carb? Absolutely. Can we go low fat and go all in? Yes. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way all the time. This is another tool in the toolbox. The dial and lever option is just another tool in the toolbox that works very well. Will it work as fast as, a fasting routine? Probably not. But it's another way to get someone to buy in. I love the idea of this, and it's working very well for me. So we're pulling the nutrition dial, we're playing with fat, we play with protein, we play with carbohydrates, we play with eating out, we play with alcohol, we play with fiber and vegetables. I'm sure there's another dial we can add in there too, but that's the nutrition lever, and those are the dials that would fall underneath it. Let's talk about another lever, the weight training lever, right? We can pull that lever and we can talk about the dials underneath that lever, right? We're going to increase the amount of strength training. Somebody is working out only 2 days a week. Hey, let's dial it up to 3 days of strength training. Let's add some load. Let's decrease rest periods in between sets, right? There's many dials that we can play with underneath that weight training lever. This is for people that are not doing anything. They want to increase lean muscle. They want more tone, a more toned, lean look. Well, we need to increase the strength training. We need to pull the strength training lever, and we need to start playing with load-bearing exercise and get people stronger, get people increase their muscle mass, right? So let's talk about the daily movement lever. I go here often. These are people that are sitting a lot, and I look at their daily steps. I found out that the average American is doing about 2,300, 2,500 steps per day. So we can pull that lever, right, and increase daily steps. Very simple. What if somebody is not, doing cardio? Can we pull that lever, the cardio lever? And all these people that I deal with, they might only need to have one lever pulled at one time, right? What about the overweight person that's exercising, that's weight training 3 days a week and running 2 days a week? Do we need to pull the weight training lever and the cardio lever? No. But it tells us what lever we need to pull. If this person is overweight and is weight training 3 days a week and exercising 2 days a week, what lever needs to be pulled? It's probably the nutrition lever. It might even be the daily movement lever. So I want you to think like that. I want you to take into account, look at the big picture, look at everything, look at all the levers that are the possibility of all the levers. Which one is the main one? What's the low-hanging fruit? Most of the time, it's the nutrition lever. And then after that, it's a daily movement lever. A lot of people are exercising already, but they're not happy with where they're currently at. So we have to look at the other levers. Could be their recovery lever, right? Pull that lever. What dials can be worked, can be increased and decreased in the recovery lever? Doubtful we need to decrease anything, but we can increase the sleep lever. We can increase the meditation lever. We can increase the stretching and mobility lever. We can increase the yoga lever, right? These are all things underneath the recovery lever. These are things that people are too sore. These are people that are burning the candle from both ends. They're stressed out. They're type A personalities. These people need recovery. So we pull that lever and we dial up what needs to be dialed up. Hope you guys are understanding where I'm going with this. This is something I'm going to go into deeper, a lot deeper during the seminar. It's a simple strategy. It's a cool topic. I'm very excited about this topic because I think it can go in so many different directions, but it's a great way to customize your own experience. Not everybody needs to pull the exercise lever. Not everybody needs to pull the daily movement lever, right? So I want you to think about this. What lever can you pull? What lever can you pull, and what needs to be dialed up or dialed down underneath that lever? The dial and lever method. It's a cool method. You don't need to eliminate all carbs. You don't need to go on the Atkins diet. You don't need to exercise excessively. There might be another lever to pull that will allow you to sustainably lose the weight or get the goal, whatever goal you're after, without feeling like you're depriving yourself of everything. You don't have to do that. What you need to do is figure out where you're currently at. Look at the levers and then start dialing up and dialing down incrementally without going like having that all or nothing mindset. It works. Trust me. If you take somebody from 2,500 steps per day and increase them to 5,000 steps per day, and you take somebody that's eating out 7 times per week to 3 times per week, you're decreasing that eating out lever. You take that same person who's drinking 2 glasses of wine per night, that's 14 glasses of wine per week. Can we dial that alcohol lever down from 14 to 7? What do you think will happen? If the alcohol lever is turned down, the eating out lever is turned down, and the daily step lever is doubled, how about we up the protein lever, the dial? How about we dial up the protein at each meal? You're snacking less. Now you went from snacking 2 days a week, which is 14 snacks per week. 2 times per day. 7 days a week, that's 14 snacks per week. What if we go from 14 snacks per week to 0 snacks per week, and you're only having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that happened because you're increasing protein. You dialed up the protein. Now you're not as hungry, so you snack less. Do you see where I'm going with this? By pulling on these levers and dialing things up and dialing things down without totally eliminating everything that you love, what do you think will happen? Adherence will improve. That's what will happen. You will have an improved adherence, right? And when you're improving on your adherence, you stick to things longer. When you stick to things longer, you get better results versus you going all in and eliminating everything all at one time. The chances of you adhering to that diet are slim. So I want to improve adherence. I want to do what you want to do. I want to find out what we need to do and stick to it over the long term. Consistency is everything. Adherence and consistency is everything to me. So this is another way for you to adhere to the diet longer And the longer you can stay on this diet, the better result you're gonna be. If you are struggling and always hungry and can never have anything that you want and then enjoy, you're not gonna stick to it. So that's why I like the dial and lever method that I'm gonna write more on, and I'm gonna definitely speak a lot more about it on May 17th at the 30-day Summer Slim Down Jumpstart seminar. I hope to see you there, and I hope that you'll think about your levers and the dials that you can increase and decrease. Think about it. It's very interesting, right? Leave any questions here. Would love to hear your thoughts on the dial and lever topic, and let me know if you have any questions about it, and we'll talk more about the other topics in a couple days. Have a great weekend.